One of the things that I've noticed about this realm and the way it operates is that this realm tries to make you feel unimportant. This realm tries to reduce your importance. This realm tries to make you feel like that you don't matter, that you're not important, that your existence doesn't matter, that you're nothing, right? And it's not just the prison plan. It's not just the prison planet system. It's not just like the way governments are designed, the way that the modern day 9 to 5 corporations, big cities, right? Like the way that even the internet disconnects people, right? The modern world is designed to disconnect people. It's designed to isolate people, but it's designed to make them feel like cogs inside of a machine. You're like to be assigned a number, right? But there's also this other thing too, where specifically energy vampires and narcissists will try to shoot down, like they'll try to shoot down people by diminishing their importance, right? They'll pull out like the oh, who cares, right? Who asked, right? Like they'll say, who cares? Who asked, right? Like it's not that deep, right? Your message isn't that your message is not important, right? What you're saying, you're like, oh, it's not that deep, bro. Who cares, right? Who asked, right? As if you needed a permission slip in the first place, as if you needed their permission to speak, right? What they'll do, and this is one of the things that it does, is that they try to create hierarchy. They're like that they're the evaluator, that they're the ones judging your soul, that they're the ones judging who you are as a person, whether or not you're important, whether or not your existence matters, right? This is one of the greatest dark magic spells, one of the greatest sort of magic tricks of this realm that I've noticed recently is, and I see this is a pattern in my life where I've encountered a lot of energy vampires, a lot of narcissists who try, like, anytime I have, vitality, anytime I have energy, anytime I get going, and like, I want to share this insight, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I try to share what I have to say with other people. Usually there's people that come out of the woodwork and say, "Yo, who asked? Who cares?" Right? Yo, it's not that deep, bro. You just need, like, what they're doing, right? And this is what the narcissist does: is that they shoot other people down to make them feel better about themselves. They try to diminish a person's importance. They try to diminish a person in order to make them feel better by comparison. And that is what a narcissist does. That is what an energy vampire does. That's what a psychic vampire does. Is that, like, they're using this is a tactic that they use, and it's very much like a magic trick. It's like once you, I've noticed this a lot about the strategies that this prison planet uses against you. It's almost like the whole tunnel of light, right? Like the tunnel of light and the reincarnation trap. Once you see the trick, it stops working. And I've noticed this is a thing that is really interesting about, like, the more patterns you notice, the more tricks, the more deceptions you notice on this realm, on this prison planet, right? The more deceptions you notice, the more tricks that you become aware of. The tricks stop working, right? The psyops, right? The distractions, right? Like the tactics that people use against you, they lose their effectiveness because it's exactly like a magic trick. Once you see the trick behind it, once you understand how the trick works, it stops working. And one of the biggest tricks of a narcissist, of an energy vampire, and you've probably, if you're watching this video, you've probably encountered this many times in your life, where people will try to diminish your importance. They'll try to tell you that you don't matter, that you're not important, that, oh, you're just little you, who asked, right? No one cares, right? It's not that deep, right? Your message is not important, right? The words that you're saying aren't important. Your presence doesn't matter, but it matters to the energy vampires, and that's why they try to shoot you down. That's why they try to diminish your spark. They try to diminish your light. They're doing this because they rely on our energy. They rely on the loosh. They rely on the negative energy. And one of the ways to create negative energy, and I've experienced this sort of feeling myself of, oh, like, no one cares about me, nothing, like, I don't matter, right? I've experienced that. I've been in that sort of energy space before, in my past, right? And being in that energy space, I noticed that is, it's similar to the energy of trauma, right? And especially if you have, not only like people in school, but also teachers. So sometimes I know my sister has had some experiences with a teacher that told her, like, oh, you're nothing, you don't matter, Like you're not going to be anything when you grow up, right? Like there's teachers that will do that, and yet again, what it does is that it pokes holes in your energy field so that people can get under your skin, right? That is the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this trick, this sort of dark magic sorcery, because I do think that it is a form of magic. It's a way of trying to affect the mind, and that's the whole point of magic, right? Is that is that magic is about manipulating consciousness, whether it's manipulating your own consciousness or trying to manipulate the consciousness of others, which is what this realm does through psyops, through news, through propaganda, through the movies, through the TV shows, through the symbolism that we're shown in the movies that nobody notices, right? Like the power of symbols, right? That these are all things that affect the consciousness. And even on the internet, where you have like memetic warfare, you have warfare you have spiritual warfare using memes, using ideas, which ideas are accepted and which ideas aren't accepted, right? These are all forms of magic that manipulate the consciousness of the masses, and this sort of this nature of magic, right? Like this whole definition of magic, it carries into this tactic that is used by energy vampires. It's used by narcissists. It's used by the archons themselves. It's used by demons. Okay, this is the trick, is that one of the things that they will do to poke holes in your energy field, one of the things that they will do in order to get under your skin, is they try to diminish your importance. You're small, you're little, you don't matter, you're just a number, keep your head down and go back to work, you're just one person, you can't do anything. This is like the general message that this realm broadcasts to people. You don't matter, you're just a small, you're a little ant, and your job is to go to this corporation and work for them. Your job is to pay rent in this apartment complex where you live next to strangers, right? You don't live in a village, you don't live in a tribe, you don't live with family connections, right? Families kick their kids out of the house, at 18. At least most families do. Right? Some families maintain their structure, right? But like the modern world has convinced most people that, like, oh, okay, cut family ties, right? Live next to strangers, right? You're going to the corporation to work your 9 to 5, right? And next to people you don't know. You're working for a corporate entity that treats you like a number, right? Like this realm is designed to sort of grind you down, to sort of grind down your spirit, to make you feel like you're unimportant, that you don't matter, that you can't affect anything because you're little you. And the system relies on you thinking that you're not important, but you are very important, not only to the system, but like just you existing, you're important, you matter. Don't let these demons convince you that you don't matter, that your existence doesn't matter, right? Because what they're doing in this sort of evaluation is that in this sort of like evaluation sort of mentality that they're doing, is that they're evaluating and they're trying to judge your soul. Essentially, that's what this sort of energy feels like to me, at least, is that they're putting themselves in the position of judging your soul. They're putting themselves in the position of judging, of trying to be the evaluator, right? They're trying to evaluate your soul, just you know like they're trying to be the people who weigh the value of your life, right? Like weighing the value of a human life, like, does this life matter, does this life not matter? And they're trying, what they're doing yet again through this sort of magic, right, is that they're trying to put themselves in a position of authority over your soul, which is kind of interesting, right? Because yet again, it's like they're trying to put themselves in a position where they get to decide whether or not you matter. They get to decide whether or not your words matter, whether or not your existence matters, whether or not you should do this because, oh, you're not important. Stop. You'll stop talking, right? It's not that deep, bro. Right? No one cares, bro. Who asked, bro? Right? These are the common jabs that they'll tell you, and that, along with a bunch of other ad hominems, right? They'll use ad hominems, like they'll use like the name calling, they'll try to like make fun of you or whatever. But one of the biggest, yet again, like the biggest sort of dark magic trick on the mind, and yet again, this is what magic is magic is about trying to manipulate consciousness. It's about trying to manipulate another person's consciousness, or trying to control your own consciousness if you want to make changes in your own life. That's what magic is. It's about consciousness, it's about mind. And one of the and so this is a form of dark magic, which is like using like using language, using words to diminish the importance of another person, right? To diminish your importance, to tell you that you don't matter. And what they're doing is they're trying to, poke holes in your energy field so it's easier to control what you think. It's easier to sow seeds of doubt, to be doubtful of your intuitions, to be doubtful of your spark. And yet again, I've noticed this behavior in people. Like people will try to shoot me down. People will try to like shoot down like what I'm saying or whatever. As soon as I get like a spark of vitality, usually like I'll get a spark of vitality, I'll start to get, in a flow, so to speak, and I'll try to say, oh man, I have this thing, I have that, or I'll get excited over a certain subject, and then people will try to, there's going to be, people that I'll come across that'll try to shoot me down, that'll try to say like, oh, who cares, bro, right? They'll try to like diminish, they'll try to extinguish that spark, right? And yet again, that's what narcissists do. That's what they do, because their entire existence is about diminishing other people to make themselves feel superior. That is like the nature of a narcissist. That is the nature of an energy vampire. That is the psychology of an archon. The psychology of a demon is that they try to diminish you to make themselves bigger, right? Which is what this entire system is designed to do. But also, this is what demons do: is they diminish your importance. They try to make you. They try to tell you that you don't matter. So if you encounter this, behavior where people try to diminish your people try to diminish your importance. People try to make you feel like, oh, you're insignificant, you don't matter, you're nothing, who cares, who asked, right? Oh, it's not that deep, you need to shut up, right? Like what they're doing is they're trying to diminish your importance so that you shut up, so that you stay in line. It's a way to try to keep you in line. So don't listen to it. Don't fall for the magic trick, right? See the trick of these energy vampires trying to poke holes in your energy field, trying to make you feel unimportant, trying to diminish your importance, and realize that the system relies on you thinking that you don't matter. Oh, I don't matter, I'm just little me. Like the system relies on you thinking that. So don't think that. You need to think the opposite. I matter. I'm important. Right? I am an important person. I deserve to exist. I have a right to exist, right? I have a right to speak my mind. This sounds like simple stuff, right? This sounds like simple stuff, like, oh, everyone knows that. Like why do you need to say that? Like, no, like we've been subconsciously programmed to think that that's not the case. A lot of times, especially with if you've encountered a lot of narcissistic people, right? Like this is something that you need to program out of your system. Is this idea that you know your importance, that you know that you mattering comes from the judgments of these people, which they don't. Okay, so anytime someone tries to make you feel unimportant, that is a narcissist trying to poke holes in your energy field, trying to get under your skin. So don't listen to it, don't fall for it. Anytime someone leads with that energy, anytime someone tries to lead with that spell, that's a sign that there's a demon inside them trying to shoot you down. So don't listen to it, right? But yeah, that's the video.